this video is going to be. I just wanted to come on here and connect. You know, it's past midnight, so technically it's New Year's Eve. We're still under the black moon in Capricorn. And when I say all these things, you know, time is an illusion. While the zodiac has many insights and correlations for the human experience, literally it's all just aspects of ourselves. It's just us, you know, just one, all back to source, 111 on the timer. And I like to look at astrology and tarot and oracle cards and everything just as tools, energies that facilitate. Yes, we know everything within us. We have all the answers within. It's still nice to get confirmation. And a lot of times, there's many of us that require more of these stepping stones. I mean, I definitely did and do in some moments, and that's fine, you know. The whole point of this experience is to embody it. We know we're spiritual beings, but we came here to show ourselves what we can create within these physical boundaries. And New Year's Eve, the black moon, which I found out a black moon is the second new moon within a calendar month. So within a singular calendar month, you have 2 new moons, which doesn't happen quite often, but you know, it's not rare. Apparently the next one will be August 23rd of 2025, and these astronomical events, they still carry energies. They will still influence us, you know, still influence our energies. And I've just been feeling extremely heavy since yesterday, well, the past 2 days, starting on Sunday. I'm just minding my own business, and then I burst into tears, not knowing why. I mean, I could definitely think of a few reasons why, but it could be also another dark night of the soul, you know, another ego death. I can definitely meditate and figure it out. But it's just so, I just feel like a boulder is on me, and, you know, Buddha Thomas says, relax. So I just wanted to come on YouTube and post something to connect with those who are sharing similar experiences in the now, in each now. So I manifest that this video comes across your timeline in the perfect moment and brings you insight, clarity, and wisdom, I am going to pull an oracle card for the energy, for the collective, of course. And I also have some cute affirmation cards with cats called cat calls. So adorable. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about I really feel like there's a lot of misconceptions, or maybe not misconceptions, but rather just some muddiness around what the shadow is. And given the black moon, maybe not even just shadow, but just darkness, given what darkness is, that a lot of people correlate it with evil, with ill will, with the devil. But once they realize that the devil is not some horned, cloven-footed, breasted, intersex being, that it's actually just your ego, then you really have nothing to be afraid of. And that's really when you start to take accountability for yourself, for your actions, and for your words. Thoughts are not you. Thoughts are fleeting. While what you think is happening in another reality, unless you tune into that reality, it is what it is. But I wanted to not clear up or anything, but maybe share a different perspective, because I haven't really heard or seen anyone talk about it. I mean, I've had seen other readers talk about how the devil is an aspect of ourselves, which I appreciate, because that gives us accountability. That gives us the free will to ownership. And I'm kind of reminded of the movie Dogma, where I don't remember their names, but Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were the angels that broke out of heaven to bring about the apocalypse, because what they were doing, would destroy the balance, right? Whatever this. If you've seen Dogma, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Dogma, I don't want to spoil it for you, but spoiler alert. So, in the end, I mean, Ben Affleck, he is the one that was really, his character was the one that was really angry and upset with God and the fact that God favored humanity and angels were relegated to basically being indentured servants. And, you know, Ben Affleck's character felt that humans were on a pedestal and he hated humans because of that, and he hated God because of it. And it kind of just like, I mean, it felt a little in line with the story of Lucifer. I mean, just in the sense of like, you know, fighting against the status quo, you know, breaking down hierarchies, and kind of how I feel about a lot of things, you know, a lot of structures and constructs within this society. And then, you know, I am society, you are society, we are society. So we're kind of just fighting against ourselves, really. But in the movie, in the end, you know, he was upset because he felt that angels didn't have free will like humans do. And I said to my ex who was watching the movie at the time, I was like, you know, he had free will all along because he created an ego. And it just really, like, I had seen that movie many, many years ago with my former husband, and it spoke to me differently then. I resonated with it a lot then. And then after going through all of my recent evolutions, I guess you could say, I looked at that movie as more like muddiness, just more muddiness. Kind of like how I feel about The Matrix as well. When I first saw The Matrix, I thought it was super cool. And then I watch it again, and I feel it's rather corny. But, you know, that's just my opinion, and I'm just someone yapping on YouTube right now. So I don't, you know, belittle anyone for what they're into, what they like, what they believe. But in my own personal thing, I only take what resonates and leave what doesn't, as we all should. So, but going back to the ego, I mean, we're brought up to believe that the devil's a liar, that the devil will tell you anything to trick you into doing things that you shouldn't, to feeling things that you shouldn't. And really, that's what I feel that the ego does all the time. I mean, I told my dad recently, who, you know, he's raised Catholic, and while he still believes that God is outside himself, you know, that's fine, but he's still like, he believes in angel numbers, and I do believe he has seen past the veil a few times, so he knows. But he really embodies the human experience, and I love that about him. he can be quite judgmental though, but I told him, I digress. I told him, you know, Dad, Jesus was alone in the desert. All those times in the Bible where Jesus was tempted or taunted by the devil, they say, I truly feel that a show was alone in all those moments, and it was merely the ego that was tempting and taunting, because a show, one of the highest spiritual beings of us all, was in human form. Of course, they would be susceptible to human boundaries, to corporeal boundaries, you know. And that's why really nothing scares me anymore. I mean, I do have some lingering fears about some things, but when you begin to detach in a healthy way, of course, you know, not so much to dissociate, but more so to detach and view from a clear lens perspective, there isn't really much to be afraid of. You are the biggest, baddest, scariest thing that is around. And I mean, even for these beliefs, I Googled it, and apparently I'm a modern Satanist, so okay, whatever, you know. I'm working to dissociate labels. That's one thing I'm okay with dissociating, is labels, because labels just equal limitations. And this is Limitless Alchemy 808. I am Patience, the Limitless Witch. And witch is even a label. So whatever. I am Patience, the Limitless whatever. The limitless nothing. The limitless everything. That's just something that I would like more clarity on. I would like more understanding of that shadow and darkness are not bad. Shadow and darkness are not evil. As I said in my video posted on the 24th of December, light cannot exist without dark, and dark cannot exist without light. We're transcending duality, you know, in this experience as spiritual beings. We understand that we are beyond all that. But again, we're embodying the human experience, and the human experience is duality and balance, integration, reciprocity. When we integrate the ego in a healthy manner, we're basically defeating the devil within us. And that is something I'm working towards. That is something that I know I'm accomplishing. And being on here, speaking this, is helping to lift that boulder. So thank you all for the energy exchange. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to experience with you. And I'm just going to ring the bell a little here. Thank you, universe. You know, I'm just tired of vilification. I'm tired of, I was watching something earlier with my youngest. We were watching a Minecraft animation. I think it was a fan-made animation about this piglet that his parents get killed by a wolf while Steve is inside his cabin with headphones on watching TV. Don't ask me why. And so the piglet escapes and he goes off to a village, and he gets taken in by a trader because he helps the trader to sell his wares that no one was paying attention to until the piglet started dancing around and creating like this excitement around the products. And you know, the trader couldn't stop the villagers from buying all the things on the table. And so the trader took the piglet in, and then the next morning some villager kids, one of them was, real little shit, if you want to put it plainly. He kicked a ball. Oh, the trader had a llama. He had a adult llama and a baby llama, and the baby llama and the piglet were watching the village kids kicking a soccer ball back and forth. And then one of the kids decided to kick the soccer ball at the llama's head, and then the llama passed out. And so the piglet, I forgot, he did something. And then basically the piglet and the llama, they had to run because then the kids were going to do something to them. So they ran off and they go into the woods, and this witch lures them in to, they help some slimes. Like there was a family of slimes, and the parents were trying to teach the baby slime how to swim across this, small bit of water. And the baby slime didn't want to go. So the llama and the piglet went in the water and helped the baby slime to cross. And then the piglet and the baby llama get tricked by a witch into her house, which I thought was terrible. I mean, witches have always been vilified, and Minecraft doesn't help at all. But and really, witches are just, well, yes, men can be witches, but for the most part, witches were healer women, shamanic women, women of power, women of intellect. And of course, patriarchy has to come in and say they're bad, say they're evil, say that they're out to steal your children and eat them with their gingerbread houses. Anyways, the witch puts the piglet and the llama each in their own pot of water, and I'm just like, she's gonna boil them whole? Okay, sure. I guess she likes a bunch of cartilage and blood in her stews, but so she puts them in their pots of water and she goes off to do something. And I guess the slimes find them in her house and help them escape. But the slimes leave the piglet and the llama under a single solitary tree in a storm, a thunderstorm. And right when I saw them under the single solitary tree, I was like, oh, they're going to get struck by lightning. And sure enough, they got struck by lightning. But it didn't affect the llama. It only affected the piglet, and he turned into a zombified piglin. And so somehow, so then the llama realizes what happens to the piglet, carries him on his back to the village. Long story short, the villagers don't want the zombified piglin there. And you even see the kid that was the reason why they left the village in the first place, and his dad had chased the piglet and the llama out of the village because the kid told them that the piglet was fighting back or whatever. I mean, it's all Minecraft talk, so it's all you know actual words, but it's all gestures, it's all pantomiming, but so he, or miming I should say, but with words, whatever. Anyways, you get the idea. They're the ones that were the whole reason why the piglet and the llama had to leave the village in the first place. They're the ones outside protesting the zombified piglet being there, saying they don't want him there, this and that. And I'm just like, isn't that like humanity? You know, they love to vilify the pure, the innocent, basically those who do no harm, but because they take no shit, somehow they're evil, somehow they're bad. And just with a lot of experiences that I've had recently in my personal life, that I'm not going to give the justice of a response, even online. Those I'm close to know what happened. I just struck a chord in me today. I am that zombified piglet. And I'm just glad that at the end of the story, I mean, he was relegated to the nether because the villagers didn't want him there. So a wise villager finished the portal to the nether, and they sent the zombified piglet to the nether, and then he ends up getting enslaved by the piglins that were in the nether to be mining gold for them. And I guess there's these new mobs. I forgot what they're called. What did he say they were? I don't know. They're like these little red squares with legs, and they have like hair. But two of them look like the parents of the piglet, because one had a bow like the mom did, and I was like, oh, that's his parents. And another, they basically helped the zombified piglet to get out by calling for help to the trader by sending a help message through the portal. And the trader just so happened to be sitting outside because he was thinking about the piglet, and he saw the note, and he went in and helped rescue two zombified piglins that were already there to get out of enslavement, and then took the zombified piglet that was his friend back with him to the overworld, and they left the village where they weren't accepted. And so I just thought, like, the more we self-reflect, the more that we look in the mirror, the more we can see how connected we really are to one another, how each of us reflects the light and the shadow to all of us. You know, we have our perfect mirrors out there, but essentially everyone is a mirror. I mean, I even told my oldest long before any of this information downloaded to me that he was a reflection of me, and that, you know, the things he does in society, in the wild or whatever, out in this experience, reflects what I've taught him, reflects what I do. And, you know, but then again, I can't control what he does. Free will, right? And then in manifestation, you're told there is no free will. So, you know, I mean, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Use discernment. Go within. Those are the core concepts that I hold dear to. But we have our moments. We're humans for the moment. So, but yeah, so 30 minutes in and haven't pulled a card, but that's the point. There is no point. It's just something for you to watch, something for you to connect with, something for me to create, something for me to connect with. The reciprocity, the exchange. So I brought out the lightest deck that I have for the black moon. My best friend has a black moon Lilith oracle deck, which would have been cool. I haven't bought that deck yet, but I will. August 23rd, expect to get a black moon Lilith reading, oracle reading. But I have this clove incense burning, and it's just taking me back to when Alta, my best friend, and I were 20 and 19 years old, living in our first apartment, and we would go to the World Club on Hollywood Boulevard on Friday nights for Clockwork Orange, and on Sunday nights for Beat It, and we'd go on the patio and smoke Dejarums. If ever there was something worse to smoke, it's Dejarum. But man, it was really fun. It was really nice, really fun memories. But yeah, so I'm gonna pull one card for the collective energy here and ask the universe to please oversee this act of divination and guide these cards for the highest good of all. Praise be Asho, the greatest magician of us all, to the ends of the universes of all the universes, and the ends of times of all times. Amen. And Amen is just the Aramaic way of saying Amen. I believe also Arabic. But please don't quote me on that. Please correct me if you feel inclined to do so. I appreciate it. But please, universe, ancestors of Lemuria and Atlantis and all interdimensional beings of utter and complete love and light, including archangels and angels. What is a message of support for the collective during this time of Black Moon in Capricorn and the eve of 2025? I just realized I didn't bring the guidebook, so you'll see a cut. In the video, of course. But yes, let me just, one more time, please, universe. Card, thank you. Got my serpentine here for Year of Snake coming up. Thank you. And we have received the Earth card. There's so much, wow, so much beauty, all the colors, so much life, growth, possibility, protection, and love in this card. This is number 14, the Nurture Nature card. You've got mushrooms, which truly are the missing link. I mean, I grew up most of my life hating mushrooms, abhorring, and I mean edible, culinary mushrooms. I mean, shrooms also, I partake of those once in a great while with intention. You know, they're not something to be taken lightly because they give us so many gifts, and it's best to not take them for granted. But culinary mushrooms, I always hated. Like up until a couple years ago, I would not eat them. I would not touch anything with mushrooms in them. And my ex, he changed my palate because he would mince them up and mix them with, you know, a meat or something else. And I mean, they just added to the dish rather than distract, which I felt, you know, like if they're sliced on a pizza, I'm probably not going to do that. But, you know, if you fold them in somehow, like I'm all for it now. Like I actually do like them, and I have been considering drinking mushroom coffee because mushrooms are neither plant nor animal, and they're just, I mean, I just saw I just read an article about mycelium based coffins or caskets for burials rather than traditional caskets that are being, well, traditional funerary practices by using, chemicals and embalming fluid and formaldehyde and all that to prepare the corpse for burial, whereas with the mycelium based casket, you just put the person in and the mycelium does all the work, and it's actually more beneficial for the earth, and the body will fully decompose within 2 to 3 years rather than 10 to 20 years, and also will not leach any chemicals into the earth. And that's why I wanted to be cremated for a long time, because I don't want to take up any space in the earth or add to the destruction of the earth even after I've left this shell. And so I was like, okay, cremation is the way to go. Also, no one will feel obligated or feel bad if they don't visit my grave. And it goes to, the weeds, whatever. But I'm starting to reconsider my death plan. So a mycelium-based casket sounds pretty cool. But looking at this card, you have mushrooms, flowers, roots, feathers, this beautiful being in the center. I mean, and the clouds to me speak of protection. They always have since I was a child. Then you have the sun up there, and it's not just a sun, it's a mandala. You also have lightning in this card, mountains, butterflies. And at the bottom I see double helix and, red blood cells, white blood cells, any kind of blood cells, jellyfish. It's just so much. Like, this is such a beautiful card. Nurturing yourself nurtures the earth. I'm gonna go get the guidebook. I'll be right back. I said nurturing yourself nurtures the earth, and nurturing the earth nurtures yourself. So the author is the ivy. Says about this card: looking after the planet, the ebb and flow of life, the loving embrace of Mother Nature, the natural beauty of death and decay, the microcosm, time and nature, ancestors, growth through weathering storms, nurturing self and heart so you may flourish. No one can hold us the way nature can. Mama Nature is a powerful healer and transmuter of dense energies we may be holding on to. Just as she takes in our out-breath and returns our bones to fertile soil, so too can she transform our woes if we can allow ourselves to surrender, to lie in her grassy arms or be embraced by her branches. Just as plastics and oils cannot be broken down in the earth for renewal, When our emotions become hardened and impenetrable, catalyzed into something more destructive, they cannot be transformed into the compost that we grow from. Experiences we may categorize as good or bad are part of life. Death and rebirth are part of the natural cycle that allows for the continuation of life. Creating something through suppression and control that will not break down will only bring us further out of harmony. Nature is all around us. Notice her and know that when you feel like no one else can hold you, she can. Spend as much time in nature as possible and do what you can to preserve it. Themes are grounding, finding our roots, reliability, physical healing, nurture, solid foundations, fertility, and vitality. Very poignant card. And I'm so glad that you're here, I'm here, we're all here. You know, there's really a lot to be grateful for. And I thank the universe each day, each moment, for every moment that I'm here, that we're all here. I'd also like to pull some cat calls for us all. Let's just see what the kitties. Cats are high dimensional beings, and I really appreciate them protecting and guiding us. I look forward to having quite a few cats very soon, rather than just my stuffed effigies. I appreciate them as well. They also you know, they do their job. But there's, you know, nothing like a furry little ragamuffin running around knocking stuff over. I'm going to pull 3 cards of cat formations for you, for all of us. And if you're still here watching this, thank you. I'm certain that this video is for you. One more time, kitties. So the first card, to all the haters. And I ask Archangel Michael to cut any cords of negativity and energy draining that would be weighing us down in this current moment. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Don't be afraid to dream big. I love tabbies. They're so adorable. Little tigers. And then, no one is you, and that is your superpower. I have not seen any of these cards yet in all the times that I've shuffled and cut these cat formations. So it's your energy calling these cards out. And at the bottom of the deck, wake up and be fabulous. So it's after 1. I'm going to go outside and stick my feet in some dirt. And I pray that you all have a very happy, safe, and transformative new year. I also look forward to the Lunar New Year. It will be the year of the snake, and I know that that's just going to bring so much transformation, rebirth, and growth for all of us. So stay soft, stay sweet, stay pure, relax, and know that I love you. See you in the next one.